Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Sharkcast Entertainment with your host Brian Gatto. I'm here with Creature Movie Reviews.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
And we're here to talk about stuff with creatures, obviously, given his channel name and my channel name. And we're also going to go on, we're also going to be talking about our channels, because one of us is doing much better than the other.
No, no.
um, No, but in all seriousness, congrats. Creature Movie Reviews
Thank
just
you.
passed 20,000 subs. I was initially going to do the stream on when you got hit 15,000 subs, and I was like, earlier this week, I said, hey, you want to do this stream? And he's like, sure. Then the day of, like the night before, he hits 20,000. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's been nuts. I mean, there's days where I get like 500 subs. It's just I'm blown away by it. And sometimes I just kind of sit back and watch the numbers go up. I mean, this is what I've been working on for, better part of 3 or 4 years now. So, I just kind of take it in and it's great. I love it. So thank you to everyone. No plans on stopping anything on this end. We're just going to keep going.
Do you have any secrets you'd like to share on how you get to your success or how you keep on going strong?
Yeah, get lucky. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know how the famous YouTube algorithm works or anything like that. I make two long form movie reviews a week. I try to at least, and then a short. And it seems like the shorts are what kind of YouTube likes to push out right now, and that's fine because honestly, those take like 10-15 minutes to edit together and then you're done. So that's pretty easy to do. So if you're new out there, look up shorts, see how those go. Those can get you a lot of views real quick, and that's kind of fun to watch, get you a lot of subscribers. And just don't get discouraged, just keep doing what you like to do, and that shows in your content. So even if you get 2-3 views and one of them's your parents, it's okay. I was there too for years. If I could show
Yeah.
you the graph, it's just flat line, and then spike. So your spike will happen sooner or later. You'll get better, make your next video better than the next, and it all falls into place.
Yeah, definitely, because I was in the same position too, like 10 years ago. I was like, oh, so mom, want to check out this video I did? And then, yeah, definitely you have to hit the right note on YouTube just for it to take off. And sometimes it's the most simplest video ever, like an anaconda eating John Voight or a
John
five
Boy.
headed, what?
Yeah, five-headed shark.
Yeah, I was just gonna
All the
say
scenes
five
from
headed
that. Yeah.
shark. All the creature effects making 15 million, 11 million views.
It's crazy, and that's just how it works, I guess. But yeah, I actually kind of had the opposite. When I first started, I didn't tell anyone. Like I was like, oh, I just want my friends and family to find it, on their own and be like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
But after a couple years, you're like, they start to wonder, hey, why are you in the basement all the time? What are you doing watching all these movies and getting all these movies in the mail and always down there recording and typing on the notes and stuff? And so eventually I had to come clean and be like, yeah, I got this thing going on. And then after then, I noticed a good spike in my channel because my mom and dad were watching old videos and stuff. And I mean, yeah. So hey, yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, don't be afraid of it.
Yeah. Like I started watching your videos. I think you took like a 6 month break or something in
More than
between.
that, yeah, a couple years. Like, so I did do, I don't know, 4 or 5 videos, and then just was kind of like, I don't know, like anybody else, just gave up. But I never stopped. I never deleted the YouTube Studio app, and I never really stopped looking. So every morning I would look and be like, "Hey, I got another view, cool." And every once in a while you get a new sub. After 4 or 5 months, I'm like, "Wow, hey, something's going on." But so then I was like, you know what? I had a goal. I wanted to stick to it. This is like literally a life's mission, to do this stuff. So I was like, let's get into it and not give up this time. So that's kind of what I've been doing the last 3 or 4 years. But technically, it's been since 2017 when I
Yeah.
started. But before that, a lot of people don't know this. Before that, I did have a little bit of viral success with my engagement video. So what I did is when my wife and I got engaged, I recorded it. I ended up editing Super Mario World, and in the coins, I spelled "Will you marry me?" And she played it. She said yes. I got down on one knee, and then at the end, my dog jumped up and was happy and jumping all over us and stuff like she always does. And I was just like, "Oh, get down, like get down, dog, like whatever." But then I edited it, put it on YouTube, and then like overnight, I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of views. This was early days of YouTube, like I don't know, probably 2014, 2015, maybe even earlier. And I uploaded it, getting millions of views. They messaged me about, "Hey, your video's doing well. You want to make some money off of it?" This was before you needed 1,000 subs or 500 subs or
Hmm.
whatever it is now. And so I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do that." Instantly got removed by Nintendo, like instantly. The feeling I had, because you're up on cloud nine, you're like, I think that video seriously had 1 million views, and then I was eating. I remember specifically, I was eating at a CC's Pizza, and I went to get my food and I got that email and I was not hungry anymore. And I tell you, you don't want to be at an all you can eat pizza buffet and not be hungry. I was so upset. And so after a couple years of that and still getting views on some of the other videos I posted afterwards, then I was like, let's start over fresh. One thing I really like was on YouTube was watching people review movies, more specifically because sometimes you don't have time to watch a whole movie. Who has time to watch an hour and a half, 2 hour, heck, movies now are 3 hours long, so who
Right.
has time to watch that? So maybe if I can condense that down to a 10-minute video for you, and then we watch it together and talk about it and stuff. That's why I started the channel.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of things add up to make a YouTube channel. Usually, people when they hear the word when they hear the words I have a YouTube channel, they're like, oh, this guy probably has like 100 subs at the most. But it
Yeah.
takes a lot of pieces to come together to make you want to do a YouTube channel. Like I had done a YouTube channel, well, I still do, uh, featuring creature effects and body counts. And one day I was watching this kid, like he came back a little while ago, but he was probably like 12, 13
Oh,
years old.
young.
And I'm like, wow, this kid, he's doing really well for himself, and he just has all this energy, and I have all this energy. So why not I try to try to expel some of that energy onto the world? And so I made some. Well, the first video that I recorded of myself ever was a play-by-play of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
I I never uploaded it. It was
Oh, I was gonna
so
say,
bad. I was
you'll have to get that lost footage out there
Oh, it's
of
gone
Brian.
forever. Way gone.
Ah, shoot.
That's like 13. Let's go back 15 years ago maybe. Um so I sat on it for a little longer. I'm like, I don't think I'm really good for that. And then I decided, well, I'll write some notes down this time to make it more coherent, make it more entertaining. And I think the first official video I ever uploaded was for Silent Hill, the movie.
Okay.
And it was one of those times I was like, okay, now everyone watch my video, please. I really want to get out there. And this is back in like 2013, 2014. Um, and then I reviewed the sequel, and then I reviewed Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which was brand new at the time, both of them were. And I kind of went from there, and that was horror show entertainment because I had changed over to another channel, and then what it was originally called horror show host took off,
Hmm.
and I was in college, and someone's like, "Why don't you just merge the two channels?" I'm like, what? I don't know if I can, because if I lose all my videos that have a ton of copyright, I'll lose all my reviews too. And so
Yeah.
then one day I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna merge them, and that took off. And then I got monetized. Like at the same college, I was like, there's no way this could get monetized. Like it wouldn't hurt to try. And so I tried it, and I got it, and then
Yeah.
I lost it, and then I got it, and then I lost it again. Now I still have it. Uh, but like you said, it can come out of nowhere and they'll be like, take it down or um, disable your monetization, whatever. And it's really defeating. But
It is.
every time I got reapplied, every time I reapplied, I was able to have it again. And then recently, I was like, you know what? I feel like the horror shark people are expecting one thing, more so than the other. The creature movie reviews, they weren't expecting those. They were expecting like music videos and body counts.
Mm.
So I was like, you know what? I want to do another channel, but this time have all the editing skills I have now. apply to this channel and not do a horror show entertainment. Plus, I wanted a name change really bad. Like
Uh,
I like the horror shark, but it kind of confines me to horror
and sharks.
and sharks. So I was like, I'll keep shark, but I want to change it up a little bit.
Sure. I get what you're doing, and for sure you got to do with what you want, you know. So it only makes sense. And I mean, you're a new channel, you know, you're already hitting 50 subs,
Yeah,
and you know as well as anybody else, it just gets better from there. You know, it grows exponentially. So every year, you know, you get noticed, and now you're getting to the target audience that you want to be. You know, and you know
yeah,
you can change what you're doing and stuff, and that's fine. But and you know your viewers don't have to watch your videos if you change. I mean, that's just the way it is. And
right,
but you know, it's nice to get a couple views each video, and then a couple videos take off, get a couple thousand views. It always motivates you to keep going. So I see what you're doing. I say keep it up, doing what you want to do, because if you're stuck doing music videos, or if you're stuck doing stuff that you don't really enjoy, then what's the point? You know. But then say this new Shark House Entertainment. If you want to do a music video, do a music video. You know, you do what
right.
you want. That's the point of it.
Well, wait,
We're here to have fun.
I think the only music video I'll do on there is a vocal cover or something.
I've been seeing some of your shorts are doing that. They're fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh man, those are fun, but you have to kind of build yourself up to it. If you stop for a while, it gets hard to go back.
I bet. I
Um,
bet for sure.
and it's not nice music. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
for everyone. Like usually, people who are into the creature features, like I noticed they like this pop or ro- soft rock kind of music,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
the horror crowd likes the metal,
Yeah, for sure.
and I'm falling into the metal category, but I like both kind of genres or subgenres. So it's I'm all over the place. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
No, that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's days where I've had a bad day and I'll pop in like the Doom soundtrack and I'll just rock out, you know, like let's go hard.
Yeah,
And then there's other days where I'm listening to, you know, pop punk, like most days.
yeah. Like I've been getting into the Ramones a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
For
Um.
sure.
Oh, there was one movie I saw like quarters of it the other day, and I'm like, I think Brad would like this.
Let's
It's
hear it.
it's called The Monster Club.
Oh, yeah, with Vincent Price.
Mm-hmm. Did you review that?
Yeah, I've reviewed it. Yeah, it's
Oh,
one of my earlier ones.
I was looking.
It's years ago.
I think I remember seeing the thumbnail was just the poster, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was before I really did any of that
Yeah, because
stuff. But
I looked it up. I was like, The Monster Club, um, creature movie reviews. Nothing came up, and I was like,
uh
I swear he reviewed it. But I was watching it, and I gotta tell you, the on stage performers were the best part of that movie.
oh yeah, for sure. So the Monster Club, it's an 80s, very 80s, early 80s movie with Vincent Price and John Carradine.
Mhm.
So horror legends, you know, and they sit down. Vincent Price is this vampire. John Carradine helped him out, gave him a little bit of blood so he could live, and he takes him to this monster club, tells him all about this underworld of monsters. And
And the different
I think there's
subgenres of monsters or
yeah, I think there's
subcultures.
three. There's I know the only one I can remember is the one that whistles to
Yeah,
kill you.
that was a good
That's
segment.
that's really cool. I think there's other, there's like a town that's overridden by ghouls.
And then they
You know,
have
a little
one
village.
was, um, I just saw it too.
I'm lost on it, but yeah, there's kind of bookend segments, and then there's middle segments, and those middle segments are where it's at. The music, the dancing, the plastic masks, all of
Mhm.
it adds to the movie. It's great. It's a good movie.
You know the my favorite song was Stripper.
Was it? See, now I like the Sucker for Your Love.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was a
favorite
good one
song.
too.
It
But
just it makes me laugh. The stripper one, um,
really good
I
vocals,
can't
I thought.
I can't remember how it goes, but I know which one you're talking about because
Yeah,
the girl singing it.
yeah, and then my favorite part, I still don't know how they did that effect all the way back then. But when the stripper's on stage, she's tearing off her clothes, but then it goes, she gets a silhouette, and then she gets her pulls up her shirt, but it's her skin.
Uh-huh.
All you see is the black silhouette of her skin coming off, and then she's a dancing skeleton. I'm like, how the hell did you do that?
They had some creativity back then,
Yeah,
especially for when you see all the extras just literally wearing rubber masks.
yeah,
Some of the effects are really good. It sets the mood really well.
hmm
It's a fun movie for sure.
yeah. And then I love that part too because right when she gets all the rest of her clothes, her skin taken off, that one monster with the plastic mask, his eyes go boom.
Of course, yeah, you have to have that.
Yeah. What did he
That's a good
say?
one.
Vincent Price is like, those are some impressive bones, aren't they? Incredible.
You can tell they had fun. Those old guys, they had fun during that movie for
Yeah.
sure. Good, they should.
Yeah, the sucker for my love, or sucker for your love. Uh, what do you say? He's like, they're playing my song.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah,
why
that's
is that
his
your song?
song.
That's just a weird song.
it's very, it's a very 80s song too, but it's fun. That's I recommend that one. That's one of the first movie reviews I did that I actually could say, yeah, go check it out. This is a good one. And the first time I saw that was on a late night cable access show. I don't know how they got it,
Hmm.
but they played it on one of my local TV channels, and it was great. I stayed up, watched the whole thing. Usually I fall asleep.
Yeah, was do you have the Blu-ray? It's worth a lot now, apparently.
No, I don't.
I was gonna buy it, and then I
Who
was like,
knows?
oh crap.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll
Maybe
hold
not.
off on that.
Maybe
Some of
not.
those Blu-rays are so rare or hard to find or just stupidly priced.
I
So
know. It's like they get re-released, but then they sell them for like 30, $40 still. Like Vinegar Syndrome or Severin, which I love those companies, but they charge a
yeah.
lot for quality Blu-rays.
So let me ask you this: have you always been a collector of the Blu-rays, even before the channel? We talked,
Hmm.
10, 11, 12 years ago. Did your room look like it does now?
It didn't
Obviously,
look like
maybe
this, but
less,
it
but
looked less, but I still collected a lot of stuff.
something about it. Like we would always go. My wife and I would always go to like garage sales or pawn shops and just look for movies that we thought were interesting and stuff. And we still have them.
Hmm.
Just we have them upstairs by the TV. I don't think we ever watch them. Everything's streaming now, or you can find whatever you want on Tubi or YouTube. But still, keep them.
Yeah, no, I'm condensing them in a way where I'm not selling them, so I have them all in plastic sleeves with the covers,
Hmm.
so you can still look like you put them on a plastic sleeve with the cover, the disc in between, and then you put them all in a big plastic case, like,
Okay.
and then you can fit like I don't know what was it, 250 movies in one. The case is only like this big,
Sure. Yeah.
like it's for those of you who can't see, which is everyone but us. It's probably like 2 feet long, and you can fit so many movies in there.
Or so. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, for sure. Well, hey, when you got that much space, is a rare commodity. I know how it is. Sometimes you just have these DVDs that are rare, and you got to just put them under a shelf somewhere because you don't have room for them.
Yeah, but no one wants to buy the rare DVDs anymore.
Well, I'll be the first to buy the $3 one on eBay before anything else. If
Yeah,
it's DVD or Blu-ray, I'll go with the cheaper one.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's a crazy physical media era we're in because people are either all for streaming or for both, or they're collectors like us. Well, I do some streaming too, but and I know you do as well. There is more, what's the word I'm looking for? Appeal for collecting stuff now than there has been probably ever before. Not only with vinyl records and books, but movies as well.
And video games as well. I mean,
Hmm.
there's still a solid physical release. There's companies that will only release digital games physically.
Hmm.
So, good on them. We're still out there. We still like to collect. It's not dying market yet,
Yeah. Well, I mean, vinyl was dead for a long time.
for sure.
Now it's you can't go to a horror movie store and buy a CD. It's just a vinyl or cassette.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, or cassette too. Yeah, that's true. Which I don't get cassette. Records have an appeal. They're fun to watch, spinning and stuff. I have a few records still, but
Yeah.
um, but yeah, cassettes. Eh, I had enough of that in the '90s.
Yeah. No, I have CDs. I used to have a ton of vinyl, but I sold them all because I don't have the room or the patience to sit there and listen to it for an hour.
Yeah, that's true too. I
Yeah,
mean, it is what it is. Do you regret selling them?
I do, but
Do
there's
you?
nothing
I
I can
thought
do about
maybe.
it now.
All right, we won't talk about that.
Oh.
Don't want to bring up lost or hurt wounds.
Yeah, but my CD collection goes from up there. This is my CD collection of um, metal movies, and then there's rock and roll down there.
So let me ask you this: do you have them all categorized, or not categorized, but like
Alphabetized?
not no, just like do you have them all written down somewhere? So like in
Oh
case
no.
something happened, insurance could. I have an app that I use, but it's not up to date, and who knows if it would even, if my house burned down, if they'd replace all those movies or whatever. I hope so. There's a lot of money in movies here, but
Yeah, they have
uh,
insurance. What's that insurance called? I forgot. I
I
can't
was
remember.
just doing homeowners insurance. Like I
Oh.
said, I haven't done any research on it, and if my house burns down, I'm sure my movies will be the last of my concern, or well, I mean not the last, but
Well,
it would be lower.
mine would probably be a bit higher because my room is my house is this room pretty much.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
could
like
build you could build a house out of Blu-ray cases, I think.
it's not a house, it's a fort. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right. What's your
um,
favorite? Like, what's the most rare, or maybe you had it autographed, or what's a DVD or Blu-ray that stands out to you?
um, there's two actually. There's Evil Dead, the original, The Evil Dead, signed by Bruce Campbell,
Oh, cool, cool.
and then there's Dawn of the Dead, the original, signed by George A. Romero and Tom Savini.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, how'd you get those? Just at cons?
Yeah, I went to a con the year before George A. Romero passed,
Hmm.
and I got it signed, and then I got one from Tom Savini who didn't look thrilled at all.
He looks so much fun in all the videos I see, and he looks like he's having a good time at those cons. It must have
Dude,
been
I
a
went
face.
I went to go get it signed, and I dropped a whole bunch of stuff, and he was like,
Oh, get over it.
"I know, I'm sorry, I'm just
He,
nervous, okay, Jesus."
yeah, yeah, that's all right. He can autograph a DVD for you, but that's cool. I don't have too many autographed. I do have one. Willow Creek is autographed by Bryce Johnson, the main actor in that, and Bobcat Goldthwait, I think.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. But um, most of the movies and DVDs I don't have too much attachment to. If I
Hmm.
have to get rid of them, I'll get rid of them to make room for more or to make money for more.
Dude, I was an idiot. I had Ginger Snaps on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. I still
Yeah.
do. Uh, and I had the artist sign it, but I didn't have him sign the slipcase. I had him sign the art inside the slipcase that was also his. And I was like, it should be on the outside. Why'd I have it on the inside?
He was probably wondering the same thing.
He's
I
like, "Are you
actually,
sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah, now hindsight.
yeah."
I
But
did for my birthday just recently get the Goosebumps, the guy who made the covers for the Goosebumps books. He signed stuff and did it and stuff. And I guess he gives like $10 of each sale to charity, which makes you feel a little warm and fuzzy on the inside when you buy stuff off of him. So
how
look
much?
for that on the wall back here. I'll have that hanging sometime.
How much does he charge per signature? 20.
I don't remember. It's probably like, yeah, 20, $30 or
So he
something.
gets
I
like
mean,
a about half of it, and then he gives the other half to charity, sort of.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if it really goes to charity, who knows? But it makes you
Right.
feel better about it at the end of the day. I think I got the Say Cheese and Die illustration. I love those books as a kid. I mean, they were fun, easy reads. Always did book reports on them. The Pizza Hut Book It program were all Goosebumps books. It probably took me a month to read them back then. I read one just like a couple years ago. It took me like seriously like a Saturday. They're easy books to read.
Yeah, I've wanted when I was a kid. Now, I never read.
Oh,
like,
really?
I had severe. I still have ADHD, but I had severe ADHD as a kid, so I couldn't focus on the books. I could hold them, I could open them, I could look at the words, but my mind couldn't process what I was reading because my mind is bouncing around all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it? I think the first book like I read fast was Chronos Rising in like a week, and before that I just read the Jaws novelizations. And let me tell you, it took me forever.
Yeah, yeah. That was a labor of love, huh?
Yeah, and I was like, this sucks. I can't get through it.
But now, I mean, you're writing books. How do you sit down to make yourself write?
So it basically comes at second nature at this point. Like I
Just
don't
like
really.
making a view,
Yeah,
like doing reviews. Sure.
yeah. I think like to get the motivation to write a whole book is to have the motivation to be what you're interested in being, be interested in what you're doing, and also what you're writing about.
That makes sense.
Because If you're not interested in what you're trying to write about, then it's going to be a slog.
Sure, for you and the reader. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened with Croc Attack, which is the best book in terms of ratings that I have.
Huh.
But it's like not in terms of stars, but in terms of the amount.
Yeah. Written reviews, sure.
And that book was halfway through, it got half baked, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
Mm,
So now I try to focus on making it the best I can make it throughout.
once it's published, that's all you can do. So,
Yeah, you can only fix. You can only learn from the reviews
hmm
and go from there.
yeah,
um,
for sure. I mean, and I get negative comments, all the time. One of them was, every time, take a drink every time this guy says Bigfoot. And I was like, don't do that. You'll die. Like
yeah,
that's a big no-no, so I try and change it up. Sometimes I'll say Sasquatch, creature, beast,
yeah.
anything to mix it up a little bit. So I'm always, because that one comment, I'm like, okay, don't repeat your words too much.
Mm-hmm.
I had one recent comment. A guy was like, geez, don't explain the whole script to me. Just tell me what you think of it or something. And that's where I was like, well, just hop to the end. I'll tell you what I think of it at the end.
Now
But
you're like, how? When should I put this? When should I put the timestamp for the end of the video?
I thought about it, but I'm like, timestamps aren't hard to do. They're not. But for some reason, I'm just like, I don't have time for it. I'll do it later or something. And I never do. I need to.
Yeah, YouTube. I don't know if they still do. Used to do that. I don't know if they still do, but they made timestamps for you.
Oh, that'd be nice. Maybe so. It's an automated thing.
Yeah, let me see. It usually
I'll have to
comes
check that
underneath
out.
your video.
So while you're looking up that, I'll ask your opinion because I know this is in your realm too. But one movie
Hey
I
guys,
watched over the summer was Creature, Peter Benchley's Creature,
Yeah, yeah, I saw your review for it.
and I'm sure you've seen it as well. Am I right?
Well, back when I was a kid.
Oh, really, really?
Yeah.
It's because it's a shark movie, and it's kind of the blend of both of our worlds. You got sharks, you got science experiments, and it is a TV show, so I think it was about 3 hours long,
Mhm.
both parts. But that was a fun. I was very surprised by it. I think the first half was better than the second half. I
Yeah,
think, in my opinion, but it was still that was a good little movie.
yeah, I prefer the Beast.
Now I have that to watch. I just haven't done it yet. Maybe next summer. That's what I'll do. But that's an octopus, am I right?
Squid. But
Okay,
you know
yeah.
what's funny is when I was a kid I preferred creature to beast. Now I prefer beast to creature.
Huh. Well, I'll watch it and get back to you.
Yeah, it's like Jaws, but it does some things that subvert what you're expecting. I read the books too, White Shark and Beast, and those are good, but I actually prefer the Beast movie over the Beast book. And I think I preferred the White Shark, the book, to its movie counterpart, Creature.
Hmm.
That
The
happens a lot with Peter Benchley, though. I hate the Jaws book, but I love the Jaws movie, of course.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Jaws. Not reading the book, but I think Jaws is obviously the movie is helped a lot by the director and actors.
and the script, because the original book, those characters are all insufferable.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Hooper's sleeping with Ellen and all this other shit. It's like
Ah,
what the frick?
Jeez. Huh.
Yeah, sleazy Jaws.
Yeah, that's next. You got Cruel Jaws. Now you got Sleazy Jaws.
Oh
I'd
man.
watch it.
Yeah, me too. I actually came up with an idea for a book. I've written an outline. I'm not quite sure if it would come out right or not. Um, it's Jaws, but everything that happened in Jaws, something different is the outcome. Like it subverts all the expectations you have. Like, oh, this is coming out just like Jaws. Then something happens that's different.
Okay. You got me.
Yeah,
That
like
may be interesting.
they catch the Ron shark, and then the big. I don't remember exactly what happened because I wrote the outline forever ago. But they catch the Ron shark, and then a bigger shark, the right shark, comes up and eats it, or either that or it was they catch the Ron shark. No, they catch the right shark. They kill the right shark, but it's pregnant. It gives birth on the way back to the.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
So then years later, it's like a two-part story.
Yeah. So I know you've also watched the Meg series, the two Meg movies.
Uh huh.
Now I've only seen the first one, but I thought that was great fun.
Hmm.
Just like let's sit back, popcorn entertainment. I'm not taking this too seriously, and I have some kind of weird. I've just noticed recently. I have some kind of weird fascination with megalodons or just big sharks. Like
Hmm.
every video I see of big shark, be it CGI or animated or something, I just get hooked. And I'm like, man, can you imagine that thing coming at you? You know, even a 40, I don't know,
45 foot.
60-foot shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming at you. I don't know what I'd do. See, when I was a kid, we had a pool, and in
Hmm.
the backyard the light would burn out every once in a while, and it's a big pain to replace it because you got to drain the pool, screw the light, get it in there. And anyway, so I would just swim in like inky black water, and I'd be by myself, and I would just be like, oh, you know, this pool was 40 foot long, and I was like, oh, a 40-foot shark, and just I remember freaking myself out. So to this day I can't swim in dark water. No way,
Yeah,
ain't gonna happen.
I have thalassophobia too.
It's anything could be in there, and you know what? Nothing is, especially in a swimming pool in your backyard. You know, like
Yeah.
if you're in a lake or something. Okay, you know, maybe a snapping turtle will get your finger or your toe, but definitely not a shark.
Hmm. Unless it's a
Well, I
bull
guess.
shark.
Yeah, okay. Stranger things have happened, but come on, a shark in Northeast Ohio. I think I'm pretty safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this gym we go to. I've been going there since I was a little kid. They have a pool, but they allow us to go in before hours to go swimming because we've been there going there for so long.
Hmm.
And you go into the pool room and all the lights are off, but dawn is just peeking over the horizon.
Yeah,
So I don't even go in the pool until I can get the lights on.
couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
Nope, nope.
I venture to guess a hot tub by myself would be a little crazy at night too.
Yeah, like what's
That's
gonna
just how
pop out of the
deeply
bubbles?
ingrained it is. Yeah, what could happen? Oh, there's a squid in here or something. I don't know. It's an irrational fear. I know,
Yeah,
but
like one of
still.
my dad's ideas for a book. He said you should write one about something that no one's ever written about before. I'm like, what's that? He said, killer guppies. I was like,
All
okay.
right,
I
that's a
thought
challenge.
I thought about, well, this is not gonna work. They're not intimidating. They're not big. They don't eat people. They don't eat meat. I don't think. Um, I said, what if they carried a disease?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure whenever they sat down to make Piranha, a movie where I don't think they eat people, but they do eat meat for sure.
yeah,
You know how they make that scary.
yeah,
I guess they didn't. It didn't scare me to be honest, but
yeah,
uh, but yeah, guppies that might be a challenge.
yeah. Unless they carry like a disease and they don't actually eat people, they just infect them.
I mean that would suck.
Yeah, like I watched and reviewed The Bay recently. That was a good one. That was creepy. That's one of the scarier found footage films I've seen.
That's a foreign film, correct?
No,
No, it's not.
no, it's made in the U.S. It was shot
Hmm.
in Massachusetts. I think it takes place in Plymouth. I'm pretty sure.
Huh. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
Here, let me write it down so I don't forget.
it's really good. Like there's one part I won't spoil exactly what happens, but there's just two cops in a house with no lights on, and you hear these sounds. That's all I'll say.
Okay, okay.
That that scared the living. You have to watch it at night, but it scared the living bejesus out of me.
The best time to watch a movie is, I mean, these horror movies is at night,
Hmm.
preferably alone, in a quiet house.
Oh
Maybe if
yeah,
you can open the doors, open the windows on a warm summer night, hear the bugs. Oh, it gets you.
yeah. Like I can attest to that 100% because I watched The Conjuring, the first
Yeah.
one, twice. For the first two times during broad daylight, did not get scared at all.
Uh-huh.
Watched it for the third time at night, and dude, I got chills.
Then you got to go to bed. You
Yeah,
turn
it's
the
like, ah,
TV off
crap.
and you're like, oh man, I gotta run up these steps now.
Yeah.
The first time I watched Willow Creek, guess I go back to that. I went to the Bigfoot conference in Ohio, and I got my copy signed, autographed. I was all pumped off of that, and I was like, okay, it's nighttime. I had the doors open. I was like, we're gonna watch this movie. Sat down, watched it. I get to the part where they're in the tent,
Yeah.
and uh, I was into it. Like I was
Hmm.
glued to the screen. I turned the volume up real loud on the TV so I could hear all the background noises, all the whoops and the yells in the forest.
Hmm.
And then I could plainly hear something in the background. Like I was glued to the screen. That was the best way to watch a movie.
Yeah. I like that scene up until a point where it takes too long.
It's 12 minutes at least. I
Yeah.
I, I might be 15, but yeah, it's you either love it or you don't.
Hmm.
But in my case, watching it then, I was into it.
Yeah. It's like I think the Blair Witch Project actually did that kind of scene better because
Oh yeah.
at least something happened where the tent starts where the tent starts to shake. I don't think it did in Willow Creek, did it?
No, not really. You do hear
The
well,
sounds.
it's again, yeah, you hear the thing that got me was there's a woman
Hmm.
crying and I was like that is not a Bigfoot. You know, and but there's nothing it's been a while since I've seen it, but
Yeah.
um I don't think that they were rushed out of the tent, or
Hmm.
picked up and drug away or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
The only
I have to
Bigfoot
rewatch
movie,
it.
the only Bigfoot movie that ever scared me was Abominable.
And why was that?
I saw it back in 2005 alone in a
Oh,
dark room, and oh
there you
my
go. There you
gosh,
go.
I was
We
I was like 12 years old and I was just petrified.
we watched that together.
Oh yeah, that's right, the watch
Yeah,
along.
yeah, that was fun. And there's some scary scenes in that, but it's more psychological as
Hmm.
an adult, but for sure. I could tell you a story whenever I would have been 10 because well, my parents we'd always go to a lot of movies.
Yeah,
And we found
lucky.
this movie theater. It was great. It was great. I found this movie theater. I think it was like a couple hours away from us, but they would let you pay for one ticket, then you could hop to different theaters all day and you could watch them. Now, if that's what they told us, or if that's just what we did, I don't know. Maybe that's just, but we did it anyway. And I remember earlier on in the year we saw Con Air. That was my first R-rated movie,
Oh.
but no big deal. Maybe they said the F word, had some language. Maybe there was some intense graphic action or something going on. But
Hmm.
no big deal. Not a
Yeah.
problem for a 10-year-old. But then in August of '97 came out a little movie called Event Horizon,
Oh
and I went to see
boy.
that in theaters, and I was terrified. I mean, even I can't watch that movie again today. I've seen it once. That's it. And now if I went to the theater, if I saw it again on TV, I can't watch it. I looked up pictures the other day just to kind of refresh my memory and be like, maybe it's time. And I was like, no, I can't do it. This is too scary.
Yeah, I saw that for the first time actually this year, I think.
So how's it hold up? Is it good?
The effects are hit or miss for some things, but yeah, it's still really good.
I'll uh I'll have to work up the nerve and watch it.
Yeah, Sam Neill I thought was great in the film.
I'm pretty sure that's why we watched it because we were like,
Dr.
"Hey,
Grant.
Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, let's." I love that movie, and that's well, no, it's not him.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that he came off of not him, but the director Paul W.S. Anderson came off of Mortal Kombat and then went to Event Horizon.
I remember seeing that in theaters too.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Mortal Kombat Annihilation was the first movie I saw in theaters alone because my parents were like, "I'm not gonna go watch that with you. You just go watch it by yourself." And I did, and I remember I was late, so I was like, I missed like the first half hour,
Oh,
which I hate.
so you
I don't even
miss
like missing the. I don't like missing the before credits.
right? You
So
miss where they killed Johnny Cage. You're like, where is he?
I would have had no idea. To be honest, to this day, I don't think I've seen it. So,
Hmm.
my loss.
Yeah. Um. And the only Mortal Kombat movie I saw in theaters was the new one, the 2021 one.
I still haven't seen it, and I've heard it's decent.
It's decent. It's okay.
Yeah, watch it once and be done.
Yeah. Oh, I like the animated movies. I saw the first two. First
I
one's
haven't seen any of them.
oh, there's four. There's a fourth one coming out now called Cage Match.
I wonder who's in that.
Yeah, right. It's Jimmy Cage.
Yeah,
um, yeah, the first R-rated film I saw in theaters 28 weeks later.
that's a scary one.
Yeah, it was
That's
intense.
one to mess you up
Yeah, my
for
mom.
sure.
It was me, my friend, and my mom because she likes zombies. Well, they're infected, but still.
Yeah, the
Um,
28 weeks later.
not 28 days later, 28 weeks later. I saw the
That was
first one
2000,
before.
2007.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was 14,
Oh, yeah,
15. No, how old was I?
that's that's
I was
that's not
14.
too. Yeah. That's old enough to be like scared, but
Hmm.
not irrationally scared. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, oof, I ruined my mom's weekend seeing this movie with her.
Why is that?
Not 28 weeks later. It was a different movie.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Halloween 2007.
Yeah,
She
yeah, probably.
she was so mad after we saw that movie. She's like, "Don't even talk to me." I'm like, "Why?" To this day, she hasn't watched it again.
You've drug her to a lot of movies too.
Well, this was back when she didn't really like horror movies.
Oh, okay.
So she still has like with you as with her Event Horizon, she still has that feeling for Halloween, where she's just like, I can't.
Uh-huh.
She
Oh,
saw the new ones. She saw the new ones in theaters. Well, the first one, 2018 and Kills, and she didn't mind those. But I guess the concept of nurture re- coming up as a serial killer that way it really
I
messed
get
with
it.
her. Yeah.
I get it. It's more psychological. It's not like getting knifed. That's
Mm-hmm.
in there too, but it's more, yeah, there's parts of that movie that I'm just like, I don't need that. I don't need
Yes.
to see that.
Yeah. Well, we saw the theatrical version because well, we were in theaters where they don't have the inmate rape scene.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's just
that's what I was talking about.
yeah, yeah. It's him breaking out of the it's him breaking out of the asylum with killing a whole bunch of guards and stuff. No, I
Well, I
think
guess even that'll mess with you.
no, I think the scene that messed with my mom was when Michael's mom killed herself. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
If I were to guess, like all the stuff that leads up to that, and she just can't take it anymore.
Oh, on the other side of the coin, changing the subject here, one movies that I've been watching recently is this is way off the wall, but not horror, but creature for sure,
Mm-hmm.
is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh, really?
So as a kid, I was a huge fan, and I was like, I got to instill some of this into my own children.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been watching those and having a good time with them. It's not, to
Mm-hmm.
mess with anything. And now if I showed a horror movie to my kids, they'd be sleeping with me in my bed, and I don't want that. So
Yeah.
let's watch something funny before we go to bed, and go from there. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of instill the turtles or Pokemon or whatever I was into when I was a kid
Oh
into
man.
my kids now.
For me, it was all about Power Rangers and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, I Power Rangers was huge in my household too.
Yeah.
Not so much Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was all about Power Rangers.
I have to. I'm trying to figure out a perfect review to our perfect way to incorporate that. You've activated my trap card into a review.
There's been a few reviews that I write that I'm like,
It would
this is the
work.
perfect part for a meme. Like I
Yeah.
gotta get this. It's in there. One of them was in Gnaw 2,
Oh
Food
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Gods. Whenever at the end they just open fire on these rats, and they're all up on top, and just all these policemen just bang 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 bang. And so I was like, I gotta slip in that part from It's Always Sunny when Danny DeVito's like, so anyway, I started blasting because that's what they do. They just open fire on these poor rats.
Yeah. No, I want to get that in there. It's kind of like the underused "it's a trap" meme.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because there was
And then
more.
you gotta be careful too when you do these memes because who knows if it'll be relevant in another year or two,
Well,
But
Yu-Gi-Oh has been around for so long. I can.
well,
Yeah.
that one, even not being a fan, I've heard of. So yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, feel free to use it.
Why, thank you. um.
You're safe.
Yeah, I think I've seen it once before in another video where they were talking about politics, and then they were like, "You've activated my trap card." I was just laughing my butt off.
Yep, it'll get you.
Yeah. Oh man. Like, sorry, go
So
ahead.
when you sway away from watching other YouTube horror or YouTube movie reviews, what do you find yourself watching on YouTube lately?
Other movie reviewers.
I mean,
Really, that's
hey, that's
about it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I've been kind of watching a couple people play GeoGuessr. It's just like a Google Maps game.
Oh.
It sounds really lame, but it's actually really fun, and I have learned a lot of geography. Like I could pick out, judging by places, trees and where the sun is at the hemisphere, and be like, get a pretty good place where they are at in the world. So, hey, it's useful too.
Can you send me a link to that? Because I suck at geography.
You'll learn a thing or two. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
My dad has been really getting into YouTube, which is our fault because he used to never want to have anything to do with those kind of stuff like Facebook, YouTube, whatever. He's been
Uh-huh.
watching a lot of Y-Files. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I think I've heard of them, but I haven't watched any of it.
He debunks or agrees with conspiracy theories depending on all the information, all the facts or illegitimate facts that he can find. It's pretty interesting stuff.
I love a good conspiracy theory. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
To be honest. But so, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of videos and stuff that are obviously horror related, or ghosts or
Mm-hmm.
monster movies and stuff. And a lot of them are saying, oh, this really happened to me. This is my story. And I always go in with an open mind and a yes, like I believe you. This is true. And
Mm-hmm.
then after the story, I'll be like, oh, come on. There's no way that, you
Yeah.
saw a giant spider on the moon when you were looking through a telescope. It was a spider on the telescope. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
say that. But every once in a while, I'll get some of those stories and I'll just be like, wow, that was really weird and really good,
Yeah.
for
Like,
sure.
there's a coworker I work with. He he talks about topical stuff. That's for sure. But some of the stuff he shows me, like, oh look, this is what happened and this is how it happened. I'm like, dude, come on, come on. Like,
I have a guy I work with that he is total conspiracy nut, total like I'm like, what are you talking about? But then here's the thing, he's right. Like it's weird. He's always like, I could tell you when COVID started happening, he was like, we need to have a plan for
mm,
working from home, for doing this. He's like, it's gonna be big,
yeah,
and look what happened. So
yeah, he does stuff differently than that. He's like, oh, they found this huge cage in the Atlantic, and that was basically a research facility, and it was housing a megalodon. He saw a huge shadow underneath the water and everything. I'm like, really? Come on now.
I
He,
believe it. No, I'm just
I would
kidding.
believe it if it wasn't just a story. If they had footage, I'd be like, oh, you have something to back it up. He's just a story. Like, oh, it's totally real. I'm like, okay.
Do you think there could be a megalodon in real life? Mariana Trench, some big cage. What do you think?
I think the chances are slim. I think there's more of a chance of them resurrecting a type of shark like that.
Huh?
Like, not
That'd be Jurassic Park situation.
not even that, like a bioengineered. Like in the ways of they created it from scratch, not like from another substance.
Mm.
Like not a
So,
mosquito.
what's more likely, a megalodon or a Bigfoot?
I I'd say Bigfoot, but I'd also say not Bigfoot because I don't think if we found a Bigfoot, it wouldn't be a Bigfoot. Like, I think it'd be like I know that Bigfoot would be much harder to find. So if we did find something, it'd be more of a mongoloid type person that's more ape
Okay.
than man. I mean, more man than ape.
Hmm.
But then I do also believe in Bigfoot. So if there was something out there that was similar to Bigfoot, we'd be like, "That's it. We found him. We're done." But then Bigfoot's really back there somewhere else.
So I was thinking about this recently, and it's you know to become a Bigfoot believer is in stages,
Mhm.
and you start out like, oh no, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. We
Oh,
we would have seen him by
there's
now.
so much land we haven't uncovered. It's like the ocean.
Very true, very true. Yeah, just like the ocean. And but the skeptic might be like, well, we all have camera phones. Why don't we have anything? We might. Okay. And so then at first you're like, no, he doesn't exist. But
Mhm.
then you start doing a little research. Maybe you see the Patterson Gimlin footage. You watch a couple videos on it. You're like, okay, yeah, maybe. Like I've seen plenty of documentaries now, and almost all of them support the Gigantopithecus was over in Asia,
Mhm.
went across the Bering Strait, went to North America, evolved a little bit, and now we got a Bigfoot. So then you kind of like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe that could be it. So you're like flesh and blood Bigfoot, and then you start to get a little deeper, and this is when you're in the rabbit hole, and you're like, well, there's these stories of them like disappearing and going into other dimensions, and you're like, what are you talking about? And you
Yeah.
start to hear about, oh, the
Well,
Nephilim from the Bible and all sorts, and then eventually you're just left with the answer, I don't know.
yeah.
Like, yes, he's out there, but I don't know.
I think Bigfoot having him enter other dimensions is just an easy way to say there's no way to catch him.
I think Lauren Coleman would agree with you. One of the top researchers, because one of the documentaries I saw, he said that he felt that the dimensional Bigfoot or the Bigfoot alien connection
Mhm.
is a lazy way to explain a Bigfoot. So,
Yeah.
in his opinion, at least, it seems like he's more flesh and blood. Um, again, I don't know.
Right.
Yes, something's out there, but I don't know. And until we walk up and shake hands with the guy and say, "Hey, you want to hang out in a zoo for a few years?" I don't think we'll ever know.
Like I said, I think it'd be something more human than ape. If we were to fight, it'd be like Manfoot. I don't know.
So a lot of the reports say, hunters have them in their scope, and they're like, I just couldn't pull the trigger. It was a man. Like maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's more wild man, maybe it's more of that. But hey, I mean, and the ultimate answer is we need a body.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you shoot that body and it ends up being, Bob the hunter out on his property? Then you just committed murder. And I don't think Bigfoot, I thought it was a Bigfoot, will hold up in court.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of that would ever hold up in court like that would be that there is no motive for him to kill a person.
Oops. Yeah, it
It's
was an
just an
accident.
accident. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Legitimate
mean, hey,
accident. It doesn't
it
make it.
worked for it worked for Dick Cheney, so
It
it might
doesn't make
work
you
for
sleep.
us too.
It doesn't make the family sleep better at night, but at least you can get off of murder charges.
Well, I just stay out of the woods, which is real great for a Bigfoot enthusiast.
Right? Yeah. Just don't go in the woods to investigate. Okay.
I do have some plans. I think it'd be fun to do that. To go out there. I bought a little FLIR attachment for my phone.
Yeah.
It does okay. You can see stuff moving. You can see people walking in the woods and stuff. And what else do you really need? Just need cameras, trail cams, and a bat to do some wood knocks and stuff. So I've thought about doing it, but I'll be honest with you. I've gone out into the woods at night and by myself, and it's creepy. I don't care what it
Oh
is.
yeah. Like
It's just scary.
my grandma's dog one time got loose down near some train tracks. She lives near the train tracks. So me and my brother went down in the woods, and my brother was freaking out. I'm like, dude, I've been down in these woods so many times. There's nothing down here. And then we also went down to the train tracks near our house because we live 2 blocks from my grandmother. Um, we went down there at night. Absolute silence, maybe some crickets.
Uh huh.
Um, it was peaceful to me. I don't know
Good. Good. Not for me.
why.
Exact opposite.
Which is funny
But
because I have thalassophobia about dark water, but when it comes to the woods, I'm like, whatever. I've never seen any bears or big game out in those woods, so and I've been
yeah,
down there so many times.
yeah. The worst we have are deer, and they don't cause too much problem.
Yeah, unless you read my book Limbs.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, there we go. Will,
But
will
yeah,
deer
for
will
sure.
deer slay the humans or save the day? You read and find out.
So
Um,
what have you been doing lately here? What's the last movie you watched?
the last full movie I watched. Trying to remember. I used to write down all the movies I watched, but I stopped doing that. I watched The Dark Tower from 1987 with Michael Moriarty and Jenny Agutter.
Who produced that?
It wasn't Larry Cohen, if that's
Okay,
what you're thinking.
okay. I'm just wondering if this is familiar to me or not. But yeah,
No,
okay.
it's a little lesser known of a film that was released by Vinegar Syntacase right here. Let's see who produced it. John R. Bowie and David Witz.
It looks interesting. Was it good?
It was alright. It was pretty boring in a lot of parts.
Yeah. Well, you'll have that.
Yeah, and then I watched Meg 2 The Trench and one of my favorite movies this year, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, you like that?
I really did.
Did you like that better than Renfield? I know they're two different movies, but
It's hard to tell at this point. They're
yeah,
too new and they're also very different.
I was all ready to go see the last Dementor, or
The Last
however
Voyage
you
of the
say.
Demeter.
Yeah, but I just never went to see it. Unfortunately, it looks cool. I
It
mean,
is.
it answers a cool question, because in the original movie, Dracula, at least you don't. It's just he boards the ship, you know, uh,
Slaughters the crew and then
yeah, and then he gets off,
yeah.
and so you don't really see what happens during that. And it's a good answer or a good question to answer.
I think the weird thing about it is wasn't Renfield on the boat too in Dracula?
Yeah, definitely.
He's not in
Yeah,
the movie.
Renfield.
There's no
He's not.
Renfield. There's no Renfield in the movie. But there is a different character. I won't spoil it. You've never heard of him before, but it's a different character. Um, but he is integral to the story, so I'll just not to the book, but to the movie's story.
To the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think Renfield's the last movie I saw in theaters this year. I haven't gone out much. I
Yeah,
just haven't
I
haven't
saw
had the time.
I saw Renfield. I saw Meg 2. I saw Megan. I saw
Uh huh. Uh huh.
The Last Voyage to the Demeter. I was gonna see The Nun 2 this past weekend, but I just was not feeling good. What else did I see? I've seen quite a bit this year.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good year to be fair.
Yeah, it really
Um,
has.
a decent year for horror movies for sure. Um, but I know I've been holding off and I've been waiting to see Salem's Lot. They've been remaking that for the past I don't know
Oh,
couple
I
years.
know.
and it's just I think it's been pushed to 2024 at this point.
right? Oh, I saw Evil Dead Rise.
Hmm.
I was gonna see the fifth Insidious, but I heard mixed things and it kind of turned me off.
Oh, yeah. Wait for it to come streaming, then you wouldn't be out any money and just
Yeah,
watch it. Insidious movies are fun. They they started out really strong,
yeah.
and of course James Wan's really great. I like all this Saw movies that he did and stuff. So
No,
and
the
Insidious
one
was
who
fun.
produced the rest. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I saw Cocaine Bear, which was a lot of fun.
Now they got all the other ones coming
Yeah,
out
like
like
Cocaine Shark and Meth Gator.
yeah,
And then I
yeah,
saw
Myth
Scream
Gainer.
6.
I've heard that was yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that's all I saw. I actually watched The Pope's Exorcist at home, and that was a lot of fun. I was surprised.
Oh yeah, my parents said they'd like that with
Yeah,
Russell Crowe.
yeah, very good. I thought. Wish I had seen it in theaters. It had some good gore too. I was pretty surprised.
Huh.
One movie I'm surprised I didn't go to see was 65.
Yeah, well, you were all pumped for that. I mean, given your history with the
Planet of Dinosaurs.
Planet of Dinosaurs. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Um, I heard mixed things again, and I also was kind of deterred by the PG-13 rating, and that it was a
Oh.
remake of my favorite movie. So I was like, do I really want to support this, or do I want to support an actual Planet of Dinosaurs? Coming to think of it, after that, if I had supported 65, we might have gotten a Planet of Dinosaurs.
Maybe. Maybe.
Just that extra $12, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that would have tipped him over the edge.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back. Damn twelve
Uh-huh.
dollars.
So looking ahead into 2023, 2024,
Mm-hmm.
what do we got going on? I see a Nosferatu movie.
Oh yeah,
That's
from
interesting.
Robert Eggers, which I'm really excited about.
That'd be cool
Yeah,
for
Terrifier
sure.
3, Return to Silent Hill, Romulus,
Oh,
Alien Romulus looks awesome. What I've seen concept work for.
okay, okay. Did and you mentioned Silent Hill as one of the first videos you did, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's a 3 hour movie, or at least a 2.5 hour long movie.
It's about
The
2 hours,
original
yeah.
one. It was a long movie, which you have to portray a lot from the game, but that's perfect for a YouTube review. You know, like you have to
Yeah.
sit down, maybe watch it in 15 minutes. You know, you can go over the important things, and then at the end of the review, you know what happens, and you can honestly, it's a confusing movie too. It kind of there's different
Mm-hmm.
okay, spoiler alert, but there's like different dimensions and stuff going on and stuff. So at the end, you're just like you're left wondering what's going on. So that's kind of why I think YouTube is a good source to go to be like, what happened exactly? And
Yeah.
even my opinion could be completely wrong on something I say,
Yeah.
even though it's
I don't think I'd be.
researched.
I don't think I'd be a good candidate to review Silent Hill in depth because I don't play the video games.
Me neither. So I'd be on the same boat.
Yeah.
I yeah, but for the movie, at least you can make sense of it.
Try to at least.
Yeah, yeah. So
um.
how's -1 look? I didn't watch the trailer or anything yet. I know
Oh,
you
it
didn't.
looks
I heard your
awesome.
thoughts on it, but
It looks
uh,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It takes place before the original Godzilla. It's like a whole reset of the franchise.
and do we need that?
I think at this point it would be a good idea because Toho tried with Shin Godzilla. Tried that same idea, but it was too talky.
Oh, well,
I
that's
love it.
happened before.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
love the movie. It's just a lot of people thought it was too talky and not enough Godzilla. And I'm like, when Godzilla was on screen, there was not much left to destroy.
Well, then
um,
there you go.
but this one, it feels right. You know, it feels like it's going to be a good harkening back to the original somber tone of the original. The Shin Godzilla had a good somber tone, but it was also incredibly crazy with special effects, like lasers coming out of
Good.
his back and everything. Or atomic breath. Well, it's not really breath anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
So this one, it looks like it's going to be along the same lines as the original in terms of depths of characters, and there's also footage apparently of the war or post-war, like not actual footage, but for the film. That's going to show
yeah.
they've already gone through all this stuff with Japan. Now they have this like almost right after. So it's like
Ah,
a
okay.
double because it takes place in 1949.
Hmm.
So it's like it's going to be a double hitter, you know.
I always liked that in the original,
Mm-hmm.
which was 1955. I
Four.
always liked how it was like a first viewing of this is we've seen Atomic War. This is kind of us talking. This is the movie off of that. I always liked that in the original one, and when you watch the Japanese version, you can definitely tell.
Yeah. Or you mean
You can tell with the American one.
yeah, the American one was 56. Yeah.
Was it? Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it was God's Gojira 1954 and then Godzilla King of the Monsters 1956, memory serves. But
So,
they're
no, I'm excited for it. It looks good.
yeah, they're coming out with a novelization for the original 2 that was actually a real novelization back in the 50s.
Oh, cool.
But it was all in Japanese, so now they translated it to English.
About time.
I have that on pre-order. I'm like I can't wait for that.
That'd be cool to read.
Yeah. Especially given
So,
how people wrote back then, it's a lot different than how they write now.
sure, for sure. Yeah, that'd be interesting to read from that point of view.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it is currently what, September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting into October. We're getting into spooky season. Pretty soon it's gonna get a little chillier. The leaves are gonna start changing. It's gonna be crisp in the air.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got planned for October? Anything big? Anything special? Any two-parters or anything like that?
I was tinkering with having a Shocktober. I called this something else, and I can't even remember what I called it. It was a Halloween special. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um,
It does seem to be the time of year when YouTube viewers spike, at least for us
yeah,
horror movie reviewers. So everybody's out there wanting to watch these movies and stuff. So I don't really have anything planned or that I know of yet. We'll see what kind of comes natural, but I know you want to bring your A game this time of year.
yeah, especially in this current climate of movie reviews, because
Hmm.
everyone seems to want to watch them now.
Good. That's why we're here.
Right, exactly. What was I gonna call the damn thing? I know that Shocktober was kind of taken by Scream Factory, but I just took out a letter and I was like, hey, now it's mine.
Yeah, there you go.
It makes more
Don't
sense,
sue.
right? It makes more sense though. Like Shocktober with a just C, not a CK, makes more sense than just that makes more sense than having it
Yeah,
with
it
a K
does.
because
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I had a list for it. I don't remember.
So how do you determine if you're going to do a obscure kind of no name movie or a popular, well known movie? Just what you want to do at the time?
Yeah, what I feel like is good for Halloween. Um,
Me too.
but I also know that coming up in June, I have a kaiju month.
Good. Yeah, that'll
Kaijun.
be fun. Kaijun. I get it. Okay. I was
Yeah,
wondering, like, wow, that's a ways away.
yeah,
But okay, I get it. Yes, of course. I haven't seen that before. That's clever.
yeah. It's gonna be Kaijun featuring '50s kaiju movies from America and Japan,
That'd be fun. I'm looking forward to that
and then
then.
I'll transition the next kaiju into '60s, and then '70s, and then '80s, '90s.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Every year, do it different. That'd be cool
yeah.
for sure.
I wanted to bring back Shark Week this summer, but just didn't have the time. Change the channel over and everything.
Yeah, no, I understand. And half the time I look up, I don't know what I did, but I looked up when Shark Week was to bring the creature, Peter
Hmm.
Benchley's creature out, and I got it like a week or two ahead, and I was like, oh well, I messed that up, but who
Yeah,
cares? It wasn't like I was gonna get that many more views out of it.
right. I mean, it's in August, right, or July.
I think it's July,
Uh,
end of July-ish or something like that.
you know what it could be? Sharktober.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. But then I also wondered they're re-releasing Night of the Demons from Scream Factory along with its sequels. So I'm like, should I do a horror theme or a shark theme or both?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch those movies, Night of the Demons, just because
Hmm.
Night of the Demon, the 80s Bigfoot movie that
Yeah.
usually you find when you type in Night of the Demon, you usually find Night of the Demons.
Hmm.
It's more popular. There's also a British movie, Night of the Demons, but
From the '50s.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, finding that 1980 Night of the Demon was a hard one to find at first.
Yeah. Now Severin released it and it looks beautiful.
It's great. Yeah, yeah. It is really well done. The even the behind the scenes stuff is fun.
Yeah.
Um, what a weird movie. You gotta watch it if you haven't. Yeah,
I read.
and yeah, just the way Bigfoot kills. He's so innovative.
Yeah, I read the novelization that came out recently.
Yeah.
And that was sleazy if you can imagine.
No, I can't. There's some sleazy stuff in that movie.
Yeah, no, like the Bigfoot rape is taken a lot more seriously.
Yeah, great,
Yeah,
great. Maybe I'll have to
great read for the
check.
children before bedtime.
Yeah, yeah. Hey kids, let's sit down.
Let's read Night of the Bigfoot. Don't you mean Night of the Demon, Daddy? Oh, son. No, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's start.
I have my kids already convinced of almost everything paranormal.
Yeah,
The big three: ghosts, Bigfoot, and aliens.
yeah.
But it's not even a question anymore. So that's one of my proud father achievements.
What about the chupacabra?
Well, we'll work our way there. Yeah, we got to get there first.
Gotta get the Wendigo and Jersey Devil in there too.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll take vacations to all these places.
Right.
Really
Actually,
traumatize them.
next year we're going to Martha's Vineyard where they shot Jaws.
Cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for my birthday when I'm 31.
Good, good. Take some, try and get some side by side shots.
Yeah, those are pretty popular on Facebook. I've seen.
Are they? So,
Yeah.
so we're going actually this weekend. We're going to go to up to Vermont just to visit family. We go every year, and we usually go in the summer. But I convinced everybody to go in the fall, just
Hmm.
because it's how it's like it's much more prettier up there.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go up there, and the where my family lives is very close to where they shot Return to Salem's Lot.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and although it might not be the best Salem's Lot movie, I was like, there's enough outside shots that I could probably find some roads, find some houses. So I'm going to take a day and try and find those houses that are in that movie.
They're all torn
Um,
down. Like, darn it.
yeah, probably, and but the road names should be the same. So
Imagine if you
yeah,
found the one thing that you hoped you wouldn't find, which was Tara Reid.
well, let's
What am I
hope not.
doing here, man? Oh, hey, Brad. Hey, Tara.
Yeah, right.
I
Hey, if
watch your
she knew
show
who
all
I
the
was,
time. Great.
wouldn't that be funny? The biggest fan, Tara Reid. Hey, that's
Oh,
all right.
oh man, that'd be funny.
I remember I used when I worked at a gas station, her Playboy came out,
Hmm.
and they were always in plastic bags,
Yeah.
and hers was the most opened one by far. Like people would open a bag, look at it, and leave it on the shelf.
Oh,
Hers was the most open one by far. You'd
okay.
always go back there and see kids looking at them and stuff.
Thank God you didn't have the back room, for
Yeah, no,
people
we
to
don't.
also view.
We didn't do that. We had a beer cave, so maybe they took it into there.
Oh
But
no.
it was cold. It was cold in there.
Yeah, some people like it like that.
Hey, well, to each their own.
Right. Yeah, I like remember the Howling, the werewolf
Hmm.
movie, like
Hmm.
when D Walls goes into that back room in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to touch the doorknob. Come on.
No, no, get some gloves.
Yeah, don't
I'll
even
have to
bother.
rewatch that.
Yeah,
Next full moon. Maybe that's what I'll do.
right. Man, I went
So what
to.
you got coming on for the podcast? This is, I mean, I see this is episode 4.
Yep.
It's a new kind of a new thing going on. You want to do this weekly? Am I right?
Yeah, every Sunday if I can.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking of asking another couple people, and then I'll try to do another solo episode, and then continue to have guests on and stuff. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have, just by doing the horror shark for 10 plus years, you've met quite a few people. I've
Oh
met
yeah.
quite a few people through you. So, yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Got some people who'd be on for guests.
Yeah. All right, I should probably end the stream here because it's already an hour and 9 minutes.
We're rambling. Yeah, we're going on.
I keep talking. Thank you all for watching. You've been watching Sharkhouse Entertainment. I've been your host, Brian Gatto, and this has been.
Brad Smith from Creature Movie Reviews.
And make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And as always, there
Subscribe.
you go.